Hello, VTT lovers. Wlad here, your Brazilian coach. Welcome to 11 Table Tennis Advanced Training Program. It's time to take your game to the next level. Hey guys, let's talk about side spin serves on both sides, a forehand serve and also a backhand serve. Let's learn how to position the wrist and the grip in order to generate a good side spin, and also understand a bit more about the side spin variation with more backspin or more topspin or like a pure side spin. When we talk about left side spin, in general, it's done with the forehand, and the idea, it's possible to do with the backhand also, but it's more efficient in general for most of us with the with the forehand side. And the idea is making the ball curve towards the left side of your opponent, and the spin brings the ball to your left side. So that's why we call it a left side spin. So you notice how the ball turns into that corner. If your opponents just touch the ball in the center of the ball, the tendency of the ball is coming back to your left corner. So it keeps the ball strong in the left diagonal. If you're a right hand player like me, in your backhand diagonal. On the other hand, we have the opposite, a right side spin that could be done with kind of a reversing the pendulum on your forehand, or it can be done with your backhand. It's pretty much the same idea, but now the ball is going to turn towards the right hand, the right side of your opponent. And if your opponent just touch the ball in a straight line, the ball comes towards your forehand, the right diagonal. So if you notice the curve going that way, it's exactly the opposite of the left serve done with your forehand. It's possible to do the right side spin with your forehand, doing instead of hitting the left side of the ball, your left side of the ball hitting the other side, which is possible, and also possible to hit a left side spin with your backhand instead of hitting your right side of the ball, hitting your left side kind of this way. But in general, anatomically, is more efficient to do it left with your forehand and right side spin with your backhand. And of course, if you're a left hand player, it's exactly the opposite. Your right side spin is going to be done with your forehand, and your left side spin done with your backhand side. So we have a very nice exercise to learn how to touch the ball to hit exactly the right spot on the side of the ball to generate the side spin. It's a very simple exercise where you're going to drop the ball in the center of the table and hit the ball left side. So your elbow should be higher, slightly away from your body, and your racket should be pointing more downwards, the head of your racket pointing down. So you see, you don't need to hit the ball in a proper way as you would serve by bouncing first on your side of the table. Just for practice, you drop the ball and make the ball curve towards the side like this. So you see the curve going that way. So this is the way to learn how to touch the ball. Backhand is the same. Drop in front of you, racket pointing down, elbow up, and the ball turns to the side. Now I'm gonna show you some details holding the paddle in real life. Now guys, this is my adapter, and Uh, in order to do a side spin with your forehand, you have to change your grip in general. So this normal, regular grip, you should change and make it more comfortable to free your wrist to move. The way I like doing it is releasing those fingers, the last two fingers, and controlling the handle only with the tip of my middle finger. So instead of holding the wrist like this, I rather release and control only with my middle finger. And then the thumb and the other finger, the index finger behind, you can position the way you like. You have to feel comfortable, but it's way looser than a tight grip for playing normal shots. So this is the way I do. The paddle pointing downwards, and then my wrist is free. Notice that my elbow is away, is up and far from my body. Because if I want to side spin the ball, if my elbow is downwards and close to my body, I want to end up hitting under the ball. And I want to hit pulling the ball up. So I need a high elbow. On the backhand side is the same. For the backhand, I don't change much the grip. I just let it loose, but my elbow is also high, so I can hit the ball with the racket also pointing down, the head of the racket. So my wrist is free to move this way. Okay, if my elbow is under, it's downwards, I end up just brushing under the ball, and I want to brush the side of the ball, doing this motion, brushing up. So the forehand also brushing up towards me, even instead of brushing away from me, if that makes sense. Brushing up. So that's why, especially on the forehand side, it's easier if you adjust your grip in a way that you feel your wrist free. So another angle to practice this exercise: drop the ball, adjust your grip, elbow high, and brush the ball sideways, pulling the ball slightly up. And then the ball goes sideways and up. If you don't pull the ball up and keep your elbow low, you're gonna do the same, but it's gonna be with more backspin. It's still the same curve, it's still the same side spin, but with more backspin than topspin. And that changes everything when your opponent is receiving. Backhand is the same, elbow high, trying to do curve and let the ball go all the way to the other side. So the wrist is very loose. If the elbow is low, still the same exercise, but you're touching more, brushing more under the ball. So you can check on your screen the spin direction. You can see the arrow pointing more sideways or sideways and slightly downwards. So it's downwards, diagonally downwards. That means your elbow is low and you're brushing sideways but combined with backspin. If the arrow is pointing perfectly sideways or even sideways and slightly upwards, that means you're doing the side spin variation with the elbow high, pulling the ball upwards. Again, from another angle, drop the ball, and the ball goes to the side. Backhand side. And the idea when you're serving side spin is practicing both variations with more backspin and with no backspin at all, like a pure side spin, because that can trick your opponent reading the spin and making mistakes, giving you some easy ball to attack immediately after serving. So first, with the elbow low, close to the body, I'm going to try to adjust my grip and brush sideways, but also under the ball, This is a side spin, left side spin with back spin combined. So you notice the ball curves towards the left, but if you look at the arrow, it's pointing also downwards. That means has some back spin combined with left side spin. Now the same serve, but I'm lifting up my elbow and pulling the ball upwards a bit more. If you look at the arrow, it's going to be pointing more sideways or sometimes even more topspin, like this. With the backhand, same deal. Elbow down, close to the body. So this is side spin combined with backspin. And now, bringing my elbow up, pulling the ball slightly more upwards, I have the other variation with no backspin at all. If these two variations look the same for your opponent, if your opponent is seeing exactly the same thing, that means your serve is really good. Even if it's not loaded with a lot of spin, this variation, if they look the same with more backspin or no backspin at all, is going to trick your opponent, is going to force your opponent to make mistakes, sometimes hitting the ball to the net or sometimes giving you some higher ball to put pressure in an easier way. And that's the full idea of having this serve, having this advantage of serving. If you can trick your opponent, not necessarily for your opponent to miss completely the receiving, but if you can manage to have an easier shot just after serving, this is exactly what you need. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I see you very soon. Download this ball machine setup to follow the whole advanced training program. If you want to learn more about this specific technique, consider having a private session with me sometime where I can help you adjusting to your game. All details and my contacts are in the description below. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave in the comment section. Have fun, and I'll see you soon.